In The Mark of Oppression by Vesey and Cardinier, two white psychoanalysts committed to understanding sexuality in the Negro in the 1950s, they suggested that black boys have little use for masturbation, which usually started around the age of 6 for white boys, because black boys often lost their virginities between the ages of 7 and 9 to usually much older adolescent girls. Because of hypersexualization, we are often blinded to the sexual vulnerability of black males. So the fact that black boys experience statutory rape, sexual coercion, sexual manipulation more than any other group of males not only goes ignored, but is often adamantly denied anytime it's discussed. The vulnerability of black men and boys, the vulnerability that they have to physical abuse at the hands of their mothers and their fathers, it remains invisible, even though they often receive the most severe forms of abuse when compared to their female counterparts. Think about that. Nobody sees it. When they're sexually abused by older women, we claim that it did no harm to them. We say, despite their tears as grown men, that they actually wanted this sexual assault as young boys. So while we may disown racist caricatures of black men and boys as super predators, we simultaneously imagine them as voids, vacuous figures that we're fine not knowing about. We don't care about how they suffer during their lives, but we love performing outrage at their deaths.
controlling the people.
You had a ship full of African men, women, and children who were at the mercy of the captain and all the sailors on that crew. And those men could have sex with anybody they wanted to. The women, the children, and the men.
You got to see 3 months tied down with these white men. There ain't no women there for the most part. When they start bringing women, they weren't even bringing women. They were bringing girls between the ages of 6 and 15 and raping them all. But they also were raping the men. Same things are happening on the plantation to demasculinize the black man.
Control the slave population is to rape a father in front of his sons, or to take the biggest, baddest black man on the plantation and do something horrible to him to completely humiliate and emasculate him so that people won't respect him anymore. And that still happens to this day.
In the Caribbean, they had seasoning plantations, which were plantations used to break the slaves. And one plantation or one place that had a lot of seasoning plantations was Jamaica. And people have to wonder, what were they doing on these seasoning plantations that was worse than what was happening on the regular plantations? Well, one thing that they were doing on these plantations, especially in Jamaica, they were doing a process called buck breaking, where the white supremacist slave owner or the white supremacist overseer would literally rape black men in front of the whole black population in order to break his spirit, in order to break him down as a man, in order to show dominance against him, in order to show the rest of the black population that this is not I just made your leader submit to me sexually. And this happened a lot in Jamaica. This is why homosexuality is so looked down upon in Jamaican culture today.
And it was a way primarily of cutting down those who would rebel. In other words, it was a matter of power and control and domination. And they would call it buck busting, but it was really butt busting.
Slavery continued until 1865 for about 2 generations, right? So how do you reconcile that? You can no longer bring in Africans, but you still have the business of slavery, so they still needed Africans to do the work down south, especially after the cotton gin was invented. So you had the creation of breeding farms. 2 of the largest slave breeding farms in the United States were on the eastern shore of Maryland and right outside of Richmond, Virginia. They literally bred black people like cattle. They would have a strong black man have sex with a healthy black woman. That woman could be his mother, his sister, his aunt, his cousin. It didn't matter, because the end product was produce a child that I can sell, bodies that I can sell and ship down to Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. It was a business.
Before, and I just want to apologize if I said anything that...
Well, I don't remember.
You don't even remember? No. Good, because I barely remember myself, so good. Okay, good. Good.
Don't worry about it. It's okay, man. Okay. Okay.
I had a dream about you. This is what I want. This is why my heart is racing. I'm so fluttered, and if I seem strange, I'd like to apologize. I had a dream about you 2 weeks ago, and it's so funny because you're wearing a shirt a lot like the shirt you're wearing right now. And in the dream,
listen, I'm on parole, brother. Please.
Am I annoying you?
I just want to.
I don't. Okay.
I'm just having a peaceful moment here, please.
Okay. Well, in the dream you were holding me. That's all.
Oh God! It's steady, fella. Steady.
If we don't see the war, we're in serious trouble. If we don't see the threat, we are in serious trouble. Down at the Black Caucus, they were giving all the statistics. 66% of black children being born in single-family households. That's not to demean that household. White supremacy is saying, I'm taking away the conditions for enhancing black masculinity. I'm taking away the conditions through which you might produce soldiers to carry on activity on your side of the chessboard. In addition, Since I have your situation so strung out and you watch more
that are on people in Hollywood. I'm not making no excuses for no motherfucking body, but I will say this. When I look at everybody who's done it, you know, that dress thing, it's just a way, it's a passageway into making money in Hollywood, especially
So you're saying it's
for black people.
a rites of passage for black talent, males.
We gotta get the nigga in the dress.
Gotta be in the dress.
The Rock, a few years ago,
Dressed
did
it
that
up.
movie where he was the Tooth Fairy or something fairy.
Had wings and shit.
Yes. It was his way of putting in work because he knew, look at him now. Now he G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Now he that other movie where he flexing his muscles. This is what they do to people. It's almost like, motherfucker, look, here go the plate.
You need the Spanx in order to get
got
the banks.
to taste this shit
Got it.
before we bless you.
Oh, God.
And for some people, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to go and knock this shit out, get it over with.
Well, let me ask you this.
Because
is it for
I tell
all
you- I
men
tell you-
or is it just for black men?
Well, I know it's especially for black men.
Okay.
It's especially for black men. I mean, like some of the most
Wesley Snipes was in a dress.
I like to. Yeah.
Yeah.